Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide video. So today we're covering Calyrex Shadow Rider, or the form of Calyrex combined with Spectria. Now honestly this thing is phenomenal. It has base 150 speed, which is absolutely gigantic, meaning it outspeeds the vast majority of Pokemon except things like Regieleki. Base 165 special attack, which is huge. Absolutely huge in a ridiculous sense, meaning again it can it can outrank a lot of Pokemon and potentially OHKO a lot of them. The one thing that does kind of lay it down, especially considering it's in Ubers, base 100 special defense, base 100 HP are good. But in Ubers, they have got that little bit more power, so having those base 100s or lower than base 100s in terms of the defense can be a little bit of a concern. So that is something to pay attention to, especially considering you're likely to do this in Ubers. If it's not an aspect that you're doing in Ubers and it's a case of like the doubles kind of unrestricted, then you can go for that as much as you want, obviously. So I've got 3 sets today, 2 generic, 1 Dynamax. First set is a Nasty Plot Life Orb set. Now, one of my favourite sets. Nasty Plot to double your special attack from 429 in this case to 858, which is absolutely huge. You could possibly make it even higher if you go for the modest nature as opposed to the timid nature, but that is something that you would consider when you are building your team. Then we've got Astro Barrage. Astro Barrage is an absolutely powerful, hugely powerful attack, base 120 power, special type attack, and it hits adjacent foes. So that can work very nicely in doubles, for example. And then we've got as one as the ability, and this works really well with Grimnay, because Grimnay, whenever you take out a Pokemon whenever you KO a Pokemon, you get a +1 in your special attack. So obviously, if you can get rid of a Pokemon here very early on, you can then get a +1 in your special attack. Not many things are going to outspeed you, so you can keep on getting those +1s in your special attack, one-hit KOing, and honestly, I think this could be a sweeper mon. It could be completely destructive in that sense. Now, obviously, with your Life Orb, you are going to be dwindling down your health a little bit, so we've got Giga Drain here to allow you to heal yourself up a little bit. Obviously, it's not stab, but it does hit a few things like Groudon and Kyogre, which are very prevalent in the metagame. And then we've got Psychic, which is a powerful Psychic type attack, obviously, boosted by stab and hits a lot of different Pokemon. Do obviously be very careful of, because this is typically going to be played in Ubers, be careful of things like Darkrai, which are obviously dark types, or anything that's dark type in general. I can't think of any other Ubers off the top of my head that are dark types. Or like when it comes to potentially doubles, maybe like Moltres. Galarian Moltres could be quite destructive for Calyrex Shadow Rider, so do be considerate of that when building your teams. EVs for this thing, as I said, there's 2 different ways typically. You've got max special attack and max speed. Now you can go for timid or modest nature here. So you can go for the more speed, allows you to be a little bit faster than everything else. There are a couple of Pokemon that are base 140 speed, so maybe having that plus speed there might allow you to make sure you're outspeeding those, but you could always go for the modest nature if you wanted to risk it just a little bit more, just that little bit extra power. But that's entirely up to you, obviously, based on what your teams you're building. The second form is a bit more of an interesting form. Now, as I said, base 100 HP and base 100 special defense, they're nothing to call home about, but at the same time, if you fully invest into them, they can work very nicely. And we have got a couple of different scenarios we could actually run with the EVs here, but I'm going to talk about the set first. So we've got leftovers on here, healing ourselves up every turn, which obviously is really appreciated. We've got Will-O-Wisp. Now, Will-O-Wisp burns the opposing Pokemon. That can be absolutely huge. It halves their attack power, and obviously means they're going to be doing half as much to you if they are physical. You've then got Hex. Now, Hex combines really nicely with the Will-O-Wisp because it doubles in power if the Pokemon is status. Obviously, if it's Will-O-Wisp, it's going to be status. That Hex is going to allow for you to hit a lot harder, and it's obviously boosted by Stab as well. We've then got Haze to get rid of any stat changes because a lot of Pokemon in Ubers do like to increase up their stats with things like Dragon Dancers, Swords Dance, Nasty Plots, and if you can completely nullify that, having Haze is really, really good and really handy. And finally, we've got Giga Drain there just for a little bit of recovery. It's the only recovery move that you really have the option of, but again, like it's going to be very powerful with a base 165 special attack. EV's gone for, there's a couple of options here. I've gone for max HP, max special defense with a calm nature, so more special defense, less attack, and 4 EVs of special attack. This is to make you tanky on both sides, essentially, because the Will-O-Wisp halves the attack power, so they're not going to be doing anywhere near as much to you. And then on the special side, if you get a special Pokemon such as Xerneas come in, you can then hopefully tank a few hits from it. But if you want to go for more the physical side of things, you could go max HP, max defense with a bold nature, so more defense and less attack, and 4 EVs and special attack, and that would allow for you to be able to take those physical hits much more easily. So, for example, things like Groudon, things like a lot of the Dragon types that are in there. I think Ho and Lugia, I think, are special. I'm just trying to think through what the different Pokemon are and what Pokemon are in there. But there are some Pokemon in there that obviously are going to be physical, that are going to do a lot of damage to you if they're not Will-O-Wisp. Now, obviously, do pay attention to things like Mega Blaziken. This Mega Blaziken is in Ubers, I believe. And obviously, this set does not work very nicely with Mega Blaziken, so you will have to consider that as an option. And finally, we are going to talk about a Dynamax set here. So on here, I have put Expanding Force, Astro Barrage, Giga Drain, and Pollen Puff. Now, Pollen Puff really does cover your weakness to dark types quite nicely because you are 4 times weak to dark types. So Pollen Puff does allow for you to destroy that, and also when you're Dynamax, it allows for you to lower the special attack of the opposing Pokemon using Max Flutterby. Now, on this Pokemon, I've put Assault Vest because they're all attacking moves. It can work quite nicely. You could run a Psychic Seed in this scenario because you've got that Expanding Force. You could run Psychic Terrain, not Psychic Terrain, Terrain Extender to extend the Psychic Terrain from 5 turns to 8 turns. You could wear even Choice Specs. You could wear Life Orb, Leftovers, any assortment of berries, Red Card. There are so many different items that you could run on this. Just obviously have a play with it and see what you think works for you. Now, Astro Barrage, obviously powerful ghost type attack. When you Dynamax, it will turn into Max Phantasm, and I can't actually remember what Max Phantasm does. It lowers the defense or the special defense of the opposing Pokemon, and I can't remember which one is which. But that's obviously going to be a very powerful attack. If you can get that off, it's boosted by Stab as well. You've got Expanding Force, which will set up the Psychic Terrain, which will allow for you to be able to use that Expanding Force when you're out of Dynamax, doing 1.5 times its power and hitting all the foes on the field. Giga Drain there, in case you need the Max Overgrowth to set up the grassy terrain for whatever reason, you might need to do it, but if not, you've got the Giga Drain there for recovery when you're out of Dynamax, and then I've already explained the Pollen Puff there. EVs, max special attack, max speed, timid nature, or modest nature. As I explained with the first one, it's the exact same scenario. Obviously, if you're going for like the Assault Vest, kind of more defensive sort of idea, you can go max HP, max special defense, or max HP, max defense to allow for you to be able to live a few more hits. But unfortunately, it doesn't get access to any poison type, flying type moves that allow for it to be able to really take advantage of the stat boosts that you do get from Dynamaxing, which is very unfortunate, but you can actually take advantage of a few different things using those specific attacks. Anyways, that is all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do leave a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.